Welcome to Midlife Reimagined, the podcast where we challenge outdated ideas about aging and help you build the strongest, healthiest, and most fulfilling years of your life. I'm your host, Coach Corey, and if you're in your 40s, 50s, or 60s, and you're ready to move better, feel stronger, have more energy, and take control of your health, then you're in the right place. On today's episode, I'm going to be talking about the ideal workout schedule. And this actually came from one of our members. So let's jump right into it. I love some of the questions, and especially from some of our newer members. And this was a newer member came up to me and said, Coach, what's the perfect workout schedule for fat loss? And I was like, whoa, we have a lot to unpack in that one question. And I understand where they're coming from, right? They have limited time. They want to make sure that they're maximizing their efforts and that they're not just frivolously coming to the gym. So what's the ideal workout schedule for fat loss? Like how many times a week and what should they be doing each time they come to the gym? And it's kind of a loaded question, So let me break this down. First of all, how many times should you come to the gym? My answer to that is, how many times can you come to the gym? What does your schedule permit? A lot of people come into the gym and they say, I'm going to work out 6 days a week. And realistically, they can work out 2 to 3 days a week. So immediately they set themselves up for disappointment or for failure. And so I say, analyze your schedule. Look at what realistically can fit into your calendar in the week. How much time do you have? And that's what I would base it off of. So if you can come to the gym 1 to 2 days a week, focus on strength training. If you can come 3 days a week, you might do 2 days a week of strength training, 1 day a week of like cardio core mobility training. If it's 4 days a week, realistically, it's 4 days a week. It might be 2 days of strength training. And when I'm talking strength training, I'm talking full body functional strength training. I'm not talking these bro splits that I used to do in my 20s, chest and tri, back and bi, leg. I still see people saying leg day. And I was like, who's got that kind of time, right? So full body functional strength training, 2 days a week. It might be cardio core mobility training 2 days a week, or 3 days a week of strength training, 1 day a week of cardio core mobility. On the strength training days, you don't have to do cardio. However, you should move every single day. Or, you're trying to get those steps in, you're trying to get those NEAT calories and those non-exercise calories. So when it comes to the schedule for training, going into the gym, maybe you have equipment in your basement. Maybe you're going to the rec center, or you're going to the gym that your community provides you. Whatever it is, strength training should top everything else because it's the one thing that you typically can't do without the weights. We have to progressively overload our strength sessions in order to get the max out of it. So full body functional strength training. Then, and on those days, you're still getting in all your steps. Cardio core, pick something that you like. I mean, we do metabolic conditioning here. We do metabolic training at the gym, some higher intensity stuff, but we also do core training. We do a lot of mobility. If you think about strength training as live stronger, the cardio training is going to be live longer. And notice I haven't talked about fat loss yet, because fat loss doesn't happen in the gym. Fat loss happens in the kitchen. So what's the best strength training program for fat loss? Be in a caloric deficit. It's not cardio. It's not strength training. If you want to lose fat, you have to be in a caloric deficit. And I've actually had people that have come in and they've shown me like whether they're using MyFitnessPal or a chronometer or something, they're saying, Coach, look at what I'm eating, and I haven't lost any fat yet. I go, well, that's not what you're eating. You're not in a caloric deficit. The only way to lose fat is to be in a caloric deficit. So that's why I said that was kind of a loaded question, almost a trick question. I don't have a great answer for what is the best strength training program for fat loss. I would say if your goal is fat loss, focus on the strength training, because we want to lose fat. We don't want to just lose weight. We want to lose fat. And weight can be muscle. Weight can be body fat. We want more body fat to be lost. We don't want the muscle to be lost. So, how do we convince the body to maintain the muscle? We have to use the muscle. We have to put the muscle under fatigue, under stress, so that the body knows, hey, I got to keep this stuff. I got to build this stuff. I got to make more of this stuff to get stronger. Okay. So, strength training, I would say if you're limited for time, focus on the strength training with the asterisks that you are moving every single day, some way, shape, or form. Once you get to that 2 days a week, maybe even 3 days a week strength training, you're pretty good. I think you have checked the boxes for when it comes to strength training. Now start adding in that cardio, core, mobility. Make sure you're doing all the other things so that we're not just looking at heart and lung health. We're looking at muscle health. We're looking at joint health. We're looking at flexibility, mobility, all of those type of things as well. We're looking at power, all great things that we need to be conscious of for longevity. Again, when it comes to fat loss, that's going to happen in the kitchen. That's going to happen with dialing in your nutrition. That's going to happen with being in a caloric deficit. So I love these questions from our members. If you have questions like this, please let us know. Put them in the comments, reach out to us. I'm here to debunk any myths or answer any questions that you might have regarding fitness, fat loss, health, wellness, all of those things. So to answer the question, what is the best training program or what's the best workout plan for fat loss? Strength train first, add in cardio and core, add in mobility, add in some yoga, add in all the other auxiliary type programs. And then when it comes to fat loss, you have to be in a caloric deficit, and that's going to deal with nutrition. So everyone, I'm Coach Corey. This is Midlife Reimagined podcast, and make sure that you share, like, subscribe, do all the things. And if there's somebody that has talked to you and told you things about the best way to train for fat loss, send them this video and let's make sure that they are getting the right information as well. Have a great afternoon, and I will see you on the next podcast.